What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? This your boy Comedic Energy, and this is Dirty Mouth Radio. Dirty Mouth Radio, produced by Livewire Sound and Entertainment.
It's Shardae.
It's your boy Craig. What's good?
I almost said we got a special guest. I almost said.
Don't do me like that. I mean, I'm a little special, but don't do me like that. I've been gone for a minute, y'all. I'm back. You know.
Yeah.
I be in and out. I be in the streets.
Went on hiatus for a little minute. She back. She back. Yeah. Have a Shardae Lation sometime soon.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, man. We got a lot to talk about today. Damn, yo. It's been a lot of shit going on. Y'all been looking at the news?
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff on.
Man. So y'all seen about, what's her name, Brittany Griner?
Brittany? Yeah, that is crazy.
What happened? Hold up. I ain't see that.
Oh, my God. Man.
They sentenced her to 9 years.
9.5 years, man.
In Russia.
Yeah. Shorty, she got locked up for being homosexual or something like that.
First of all, no.
No, the basketball player.
Locked up for being homosexual. Really?
Only you.
They locked her up for drug possession.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody went over there and they got in trouble for doing some stuff in the streets as a woman that they wasn't supposed to do.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that one.
But Biden, I guess, jumped right on and released a statement talking about they're going to get her out and they may be using her as a political pawn with the whole...
Of course they are.
Yeah. Because
now that before it was only one person they wanted out. Now they want 2 people out.
Yeah, it's
just for Brittany. I don't know the exact name, but I remember it was a big time like murderer or something. I think from Russia that's over in the U.S. Yeah,
Russia wants 2 people. I know one is an arms dealer.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they just added this other one because the deal was going through. It seemed like with the one. And now they added, I guess they just trying to keep her more as a pawn to see if they can get that other one. She just in the middle of a political
That's
shit.
Fucked up, y'all. That is some fucked up shit.
Yeah, all them basketball players need to leave.
Yeah, man. I always said that. I don't know how the hell they even... How do you even be able to do shit like that? Like, knowing who Russia is, how you just gonna play ball? That's like playing ball with North Korea and shit. I'm not about to play. No. Fuck the hell no. No, nigga, I'm not about to sit there and hoop for y'all niggas. Fuck that.
Why not, son?
I'm not.
Why? They don't even like us.
Exactly.
They might like us.
They don't. First of all, they don't like you because you're American. They don't like you because you're black and American. Hell no.
You don't know that shit. It's like that.
I mean, when you go ahead and ball for North Korea and shit, you lose a game, you're going to lose a pinky and shit.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that.
You going to lose a pinky, son?
Hell yeah, yo.
It might make you shoot better.
Fuck that shit, man.
The money, right? That's what everybody all about. It's all about it.
I mean, and that is why the WNBA players go over to them countries because they get paid more over there than versus playing in the States.
Yeah.
So that should show them that they need more money in the States where they don't gotta go to these countries because they don't care about them.
So they trying to get Shorty back or what? What's up with that?
I mean, Biden said he is, but you never know. Shit.
Yeah.
They gonna make an example out of her ass.
They definitely are, man. They using her as leverage. And it's a fucked up situation when you think about it. Like, you was the president, you gotta make a decision to bring her back, right? But you also gotta worry because the Whalen dude, the U.S. Marine, that's the other person they were trying to get back. They ain't the only 2 people over there that's American. You got other people talking stuff like, yo, I want my person out. I want my person. See, that shit is just going to keep happening.
No, it's going to just keep happening.
Yeah, so, I mean, you put yourself in his shoes, what you supposed to do? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to be happy, pretty much. You can't all parties is not going to be on the same emotion.
Not at all.
Yeah, man, that's the fucked up situation. Then you got the Breonna Taylor case. Did y'all see that?
No, what happened? I didn't see
So
that.
the FBI arrests the Louisville cop for lying on the search warrant.
Oh.
Yeah.
That happened today or when it happened?
So the 4 cops tied to Breonna Taylor's death were arrested and set to be charged. So you had Brett Hankinson, you have Joshua James, Kelly, Hannah Godlet, and Kyle Meany. I just found out about that a couple hours ago, and it's still ongoing. So after, what is it like? It's been like, how long? It's been like, damn,
some years.
Something like that.
How about that? At least 5 years.
They just now getting around to this joint.
Just now getting,
You know it.
bitch though. That's what it is. That shit came back for your ass. You thought shit was gonna be sweet.
I hope they get charged.
They still talking. This insurrection is what kind of been like catching my eye a little lately though. But I'm just like, nah.
So listen, man.
This stuff. Yeah, I don't know, dog. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of stuff that seems a little irrelevant right now, considering like what the state of the economy is really in right now. So I'm just really kind of trying to figure out what, how they gonna mask it, how long it's gonna take before like us as Americans realize like what kind of problem we about to have.
We really in a fucked up situation.
Yo, we about to be fucked up out here, yo. Like,
you feel like the shit that's been already?
Huh? Yo, it's crumbling. Like, yo, when I say it's crumbling, dog, niggas, people are not paying attention. Yo, the airports is way too packed for what's about to go down.
Yeah.
We got the GDP numbers coming out negative for 2 quarters. We got the housing market that shit's slowing down, and it's looking like it's about to start coming to a halt. You know what I'm saying? We got jobs was at an all-time high, but now them joints is slowly falling off. You got big corporations and stuff that's laying people off, and you know how it starts at the top. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you see that first joint, like Amazon and people like that, as soon as they start laying off, you go, okay. Because they bringing in bread. You know what I'm saying? So why they laying people off? You gotta think about that. The dollar, the US dollar is in turmoil. It's just the stocks is going crazy.
So why do you switching over to the finances then? Why do you think that? Because with the GDP numbers coming out and things like that, why do you feel like they keep on saying we're not in a recession?
So, because right now, the biggest thing right now is that these elections is coming up.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to have that stain on their name during the election. Nobody wants the stain of a recession. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Because you gotta go clean it up.
Yo, and it's not even that. Like, it makes your whole campaign just look bad. Like, oh, the economy went into a recession under your watch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
political move. The whole thing is a political kind of agenda.
It's a campaign to just disassociate like what's happening inside of the house. Like, the house is burning down, and all the politicians are standing outside with the cameras and the microphone in their face like, nah, it's good, America. Like, we straight. We got this under control. We're going to keep doing this and keep doing that, and we're going to make it a little sexy for you.
The whole time. Smoke coming out of the
whole time you see Negroes jumping out of the building with their asses on fire like, nigga, it ain't good. So you see people running down the street with TVs on top of their head like, like, yo, they like, stores is not moving product. You got people like Target and Walmart who have too much stock.
Inventory,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which means that now they not purchasing products from the producers, so the producers ain't making no sales, And then you got this whole lockup situation with trade in between countries and stuff. The boats, the ships, the trucks, everybody's screwed up. So
with that being said, right?
Yeah.
because you brought up a good point. You saying that Target and Walmart, which I heard too, Target and Walmart and other businesses pretty much have too much supply, right? And it's not enough demand.
Right.
But if there's not enough demand and you have a lot of supply, but you have the president and everybody, pretty much the Fed, saying there's no recession, does that sound like, okay, the people know what it really is, even though they're full of shit? You see what I'm saying?
It sounds like
if consumers are not buying, right? If they're not buying, what are they doing? They're saving, right?
Nah, that's not That's not what's happening. What's happening is people are in survival mode, but they don't realize it.
Yeah.
So they're spending their last to survive, just to get through. And they're not spending their money on things that aren't as important as survival stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we buying like oodles and noodles and shit as compared to buying steaks and shrimp and
more dry food.
You know what I'm saying?
Dry food.
People going to the dollar store as opposed to going to the Walmart. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not that the consumer's not spending.
They're rationing. They're like rationing.
They rationing because you gotta think, like, the government don't just do shit because they care. Like, when they was giving that bread out, they knew that the recession was ensuing. They were sending that money out so that they could make us think that we had money saved up or we flipped our money or whatever, right? So that when we go into the recession, we still have that same feel like, oh shit, now that we free from the pandemic, we got money saved up because we wasn't really doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now we want to go on trips and excursions and stuff like that. You know, the whole time we think we saving by going to the dollar store. Man, this stuff, the rates is going way too up. Tax rates and stuff is going up way too high. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to the dollar store as opposed to going to Walmart. Really, psychologically, you not knowing that, nigga, you in survival mode. You just don't realize the bread that you spending right now because you've been having it so plentiful recently. But wait till next year. It's gonna get real, dog. It's gonna get real. It's gonna get real.
How long does a recession usually last?
Technically, it said that a recession lasts. Well, okay. But first off, we don't truly know. In past recessions, we haven't truly known that we were in a recession until maybe when they announce it, because someone has to officially announce it.
Right.
It's usually announced within the year, 6 months to a year after the recession has already been over. So you could be going through a recession for 2 years and not know it until the third year that you were in a recession.
Looking it up on Google, they say the average recession in the U.S. lasts roughly 17 months. The shortest one.
So that's like 2 years. That's like,
almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's like a year. Yeah. So, like, how do you, like, what does that mean for Americans? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what is
survival mode? Like you said.
What, you know what I'm saying? But how do you thrive when you were consistently living on an island in survival mode?
But a lot of people, I mean, from, of course, social media stuff, or all the people that talk about stocks and all, they saying millionaires will be made in this recession that year.
Yeah, that's true. Millionaires will be made. Yeah.
That was going to bring me to my next question. Like, what are you doing to prepare for this recession, and what is your game plan when they finally announce that we are in one?
You asking me, or you just saying in general?
I'm asking y'all.
Well, okay. First, you will have to assume that people still got bread to invest or to move. Shit. Because right now, if your bread is sitting inside of the savings, it's just trash, because with interest rates raising up, it's just costing, it's just where the power of it is less and less and less. So if you ain't putting your money into an interest gaining or interest yielding or dividend yielding bank account, or you ain't buying no assets like gold or some real assets, physical assets like houses and property and gold and shit like that, like,
but
you can
go ahead, man.
I'm sorry, but I mean, you could just expect to be broke as fuck next year or for the next couple years. Like,
And that's my point exactly with inflation. How are people supposed to invest or do outside the norm when inflation high? The stuff you could have been saving is now going towards inflation, and that's just on regular everyday shit.
right.
Gas, food, like everything is high as
Right.
fuck.
Right. And that's what, and that's why it's like we moving from more of like a lower class, middle class to high society, more to a high society and just poor as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because us in the middle, you gotta think, us in the middle, we hold up this country. The middle, the you know what I'm saying? The middle gainers, you know, are the ones who are spending money for the poor, and we're spending money for the rich, and we're trying to survive ourselves. And taxes are eating our asses up every year, and we're paying for all of this shit. Like when you drive down the street, somebody asks you for $5. That might just be you only got $1, but then what can you buy with $4? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like really like, nigga, you need to get a job, and I'm gonna keep this $5. I'm sorry, but
I don't have it to give.
Dog, I give you this dollar, I will never see a return of this dollar ever again. At least if I spend this dollar on food, I can at least I can trade these dollars for food. You know what I'm saying? For a sandwich or something like, yo, it's real out here, yo. People living off sandwiches a day.
Hunger Games, for real, bro.
Yeah, no bullshit.
But my thing is this too, like, it's always gotta be a play, dog. So my thing is, what's the play?
That's what I'm asking y'all. What is y'all play?
Short term or long term? Or mid term?
I want to hear short and long.
All right. Well,
Flip this house from there.
That's a way. But then you gotta have a machine after that.
Exactly.
Where you gonna put that money?
I mean, I'm gonna sit on it for a while, but.
Right. So I mean, like the best thing I think right now is if you do have a property, sit on it.
Yeah.
Wait till all of this shit blow over. Wait till the housing market gets back on fire. Well, I mean, you know, it's still on fire because people just spending money stupidly. They getting into like auction battles now, buying houses out of control, dog. Yeah. But the best thing I guess to do right now is just to sit on your house, let it, you know what I'm saying, let that equity come up.
Yeah, definitely.
Put your money, if you getting any money, take 10% or whatever it is that you can handle. You know what I'm saying? And put that joint in some type of interest gaining or yielding bank account. Or even if you can learn about the stock market and jump into some foundational plays, like something that you know for a fact without a shadow of a doubt is going to be here for at least 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about Amazon, Google, the metaverse, Tesla, Apple, you know, all these tech companies and stuff like that. They got bread. They're gonna survive a recession and all of that shit, and they're gonna bring in capital. You know what I'm saying, for you. So long term, you jump in it now, or you know later on when the recession actually is understood or whatever, or you know made known. Get your money in early. Wait, let that shit ride up for like 5 or 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And you have something. But right now, it's just gonna be like straight up penny pinching, bro.
So my biggest question is why? Okay, so in doing a Google search, right? Excuse me. Since 1948, there's been 11 recessions in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Why? 1948, 11. Okay.
Why is it that specifically Black people haven't had no type
progress?
Exactly.
You already know that.
Not even progress, but had some type of game plan.
You know that. You know that answer.
Yeah, that's what I say.
We talked about this before.
But my thing is, when do we say fuck it and start planning?
Oh,
when? What else do we have to do to? I mean, what else has to happen? What else has to happen before we just say fuck it? Let's just start planning for some shit.
Dog, when the fuck is that? It's not gonna happen, son.
But dog, the writing is on the wall as we speak.
Dog, who pays attention to writing anymore?
Put it in a book. Put it in a book.
You gotta put it in a song. These niggas don't even.
I was about to. That's why I said you can't put it in a book. They ain't gonna read it.
Bro, you would have to literally. This is what it would take, dog. You would literally have to cancel every single mumble mouth rapper out there. You would have to change over. You would have to change the concept of rap into a whole entirely different genre of music. Make it hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you would have to educate the people that's in that genre about financial literacy. Put it in the songs and push it. But then make it look sexy so that everybody want to do
it. We can't even say that. You know why? Because Nipsey did that shit.
No, and where's Nipsey? I hate to say this, but where's Nipsey right now?
No, but I'm saying the content is out there.
It's going.
I ain't listening.
But you know what? And sorry, Terrell was just saying this, how positivity and stuff to progress, it don't get the attention that it needs.
It doesn't.
Now, if it's negative, people all over it when it comes to social media, but social media is not the place for positivity or information. You get people that's on there that like information and they take heed, but for the most part, our people that's on social media is usually for fucking entertainment purposes.
Yep.
For negative shit. Let me laugh at some bullshit.
But then you gotta think about what's feeding it too. Record labels ain't gonna throw money behind that shit.
No.
Hell no.
No, it don't bring it in. Ain't bringing the money.
This is where it's at, son. Everybody wants the bag. Nobody is trying to fucking hustle and work, son. Everybody is just trying to get the money fast and easy, and without having to really struggle like that. And it's all about looking sexy now. You know what I'm saying? Going out here and flipping houses is not sexy to these teenagers and shit like that. And most of these 30-year-olds is following behind them. So the knowledge has been out here for eons, dog. It's not that we can't reach it. Because even during slavery, people was making money. You know what I'm saying? And it damn sure don't make sense right now since we got every tool that you can imagine. We don't have to read. You can go on YouTube and learn about financial literacy, dog. It's not that difficult. You can listen to books now. You don't have to read them if you don't want to read. But, bro, like our people are not. They don't see the legitimacy behind it. They don't understand why it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Why is making money? I don't want to be rich. Not saying me, but most people, black people you talk to, man, I don't need $1 million, I don't need 100,000, I don't need this. I just want to be able to provide for my kids and my family. I want to just be able to just, live a good life before I leave, or some shit like that,
But then you even ask them that and ask them how their game plan is to do that, and they ain't got no game plan for that.
That's because they got a job. The job is the game plan.
Yeah. As long as they keep their job, it's fine.
I can't live my life on autopilot.
That goes back into what we was talking about a couple of episodes ago about being your own boss. Not the proverbial boss. Not the boss that runs a business, but the boss that runs your life.
Yeah.
Managing your own time, managing your own money, managing your own free time in your household and the food that you eat. Nobody wants to do that, son. We want to go to a job that basically takes care of 65% of our life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy.
I think it throws more than 65.
And that's,
it's about 35.
It's like, what this takes me back to?
Wow.
This takes me back to the time when everybody was tripping on Kanye West for what he said.
About the plantation and slavery.
About slavery as a mentality. Mm-hmm. One of my professors in college said the same thing. And this was back way before Kanye West was like saying that shit. This was early 2000, maybe 9, 10, And he was like, yo, slavery is a mentality, If you spend all this time, there's more of you than there is, the white man on the plantation. You know what I'm saying? People are escaping. You could take over the plantation easily, no problem. But you don't. Because you've been conditioned to live like this and you've been conditioned to think that this is okay. Well, the master provides us a house, he provides us food, he provides us a place to sleep. Yeah, we get beat when we get out of line, but it's better than being out here on the run. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty
If I just follow the directives, I can get my sandwich every day. But if I don't, his people gonna come and they gonna hunt us down. You know, so that jail mentality.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people who get out of jail and been in there for a while, they usually go back. Because they mind.
I mean, I feel you on that, but I mean, even outside of that, I think the whole prison theory and the mentality, that's in everywhere. That's not even just, literally in the prison.
No, exactly.
That's in the job. That's job, that's school. That mentality of literally going in there, doing what you gotta do and get out, that shit is in everywhere. I was just watching something, right? A couple of days ago, I was watching the show 60 Days In. Y'all ever seen the show?
Yeah, I watched it before.
So I was just looking at shit, right? And they talk about how the culture is in prison. And I was like, damn, this shit sounds like work. I was like, because if you think about the types of, prisoners that you got in there that they label, you got your rats, you got some people that's chill, you got your hotheads. I was like, damn, when I compare that, I can compare that to any job that I had to a certain number of coworkers that I had. What do you have when you think about work? You got your person that don't want to do shit, the lazy motherfucker. You got the motherfucker that takes his job too goddamn seriously. What is that? That's the guard, right? The motherfucker that takes his job too goddamn seriously. It's the same shit. That prison mentality is in every facet of life, yo. That shit is crazy as fuck.
I don't think it's like, well, it is a prison mentality, but it's a mentality that it derives from what we all know, slavery.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Even school, like school is just like a precursor. It's basically like a training of like going to a
real life
and working for someone in a cubicle or a desk or whatever. You wear uniforms, you walk in single file lines, you go to lunch at a certain time. They've even taken napping out of school. So now you when you get to work,
working all day.
Like this is how it is.
That shit is, it's just a crazy mentality, like the whole the idea, like. But people don't think like that. I don't know, man.
It's just, I mean, people, I don't know, son. I think people all have it in the back of their mind, but we just want an easy life, son. People tired of struggling, and it's easier to just be blissful and just live until you die and do whatever it is you can do, like take trips and shit, and eat foods and take pictures and talk and laugh, which is, it's all good. I can't even be mad at it.
That shit is cool, but I know for me, when I get called to glory and they say, did you live your life to the fullest extent? If all I did was work a job, I ain't lived life to the fullest extent. In my opinion, I know nobody else.
But to some people, that's life to them.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Damn.
I don't know. Nobody else, man. But
I don't want that to be my life, but that's some people's life.
That shit crazy.
I don't want to be mad that I work a job. I just don't want to be mad. I just don't want to get there and be like, man, I didn't do all the shit that I set out to do. Because I know I'm not going to do everything. Maybe not everything. Like, I want to fly a spaceship. I don't know how likely that is. I do. I thought about it. Like, yo, it'd be tight as shit to fly. Maybe I'll be an actor and I can fly a spaceship. That's only you. But, it's a lot of stuff that I want to do and put in the world to help out. You know what I'm saying? Do stuff, and I don't want to get to that point where I'm like, man, shit, I never got there. That shit would break my heart.
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel you.
So no matter how long it take you, man, if that's what you're trying to do, you just got to keep going until you do it, dog. Just don't quit. Just do not quit, because once you quit, you fail. You never quit, you never fail. As soon as you quit, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Hang it up, brother.
That is real shit, yo. That mindset in college, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy as shit for me.
Yeah.
The whole notion of quitting. Like, college, I was the first one to be like, man, fuck this, I ain't doing this shit. I was. I was like, screw it, do what? Oh, fuck this. No, I'm not doing it. I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, because you were just on your own, so it's just like, yeah, I ain't doing it.
But it's like now, my mindset is shifted. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I ain't gonna give up. I'm gonna fucking kill this shit. You know?
Yeah. But not knowing when the deed can also harm you too. Yeah. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. Like, I don't know how to quit.
Yeah.
Like, and that shit can be very detrimental. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not knowing when to just be like, I'm done.
Yeah, because you just keep trying and it's just like, this ain't working. So then you gotta really think to yourself, like, is it even working? Like, I didn't put my all into it, because at some point you're gonna get drained if it's not working out.
And the funny thing about it is, sometimes you gonna always, if you keep going, you're gonna end up getting to what you're trying to get to. But like you said, once you get it, you like, man, this shit was not worth it, dog. Like, I did all of this work, I kept getting my ass kicked, and then I'm here, I'm like,
that may have not been the door you.
Yeah, Shorty was not worth it. Like, I put a lot of work for her. For real, it's all around. Jobs. Like, think about how hard people work to get jobs.
But do you think there's still an underlying lesson in that, though?
There's always a lesson in everything.
Yeah, definitely.
I know for me, when shit like that happens, I just think about, okay, what the fuck did I learn before I even got into it?
Right.
I really can't call anything a failure when I think like that, because I still learn something at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it sucks when you be trying to think, like, man, what was this all about? Why did I go through this? And you can't think shit. You be like, damn, am I going to have to go through this again to learn? Like, I don't want to.
That's real.
I don't want to keep having to go through the same thing just so I can learn a lesson, dog. Like,
didn't I go through enough lessons?
Sometimes I feel like life just be bullying you. Like, you just be like, God, are you just like, you just don't like me or something, son? Like, what's up? Or Satan, dog, why you hating? Like, who is out here against me right now? This is bullshit. I just want to chill, son. Like, that's really all I want to do. I just want to chill and create stuff.
That's true. Oh man, I was talking to a coworker of mine, man. She was just putting shit into perspective, like the job, the economy, and all this shit. She was like, man, she just wants to get the fuck out of the U.S. She was like, I'm ready to dip. I'm like, shit just ain't looking good. She was like, I'm ready to spin the globe and whatever I put my finger on.
Damn, hell no.
Definitely was thinking about being an expat. Like, looking into other countries where I can have dual citizenship. I wouldn't mind doing that, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind living somewhere, but you definitely gotta be selective about this mind.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely do my own work. Like,
yeah. I mean, you know what she was saying. You know what I meant by that.
I'm gonna go live with the monks. They're not allowed to hate people.
They ain't allowed to do a lot of things. You sure you're gonna be alright?
Hey, I ain't say I'm gonna live there. I'm gonna live next door to them.
You stupid.
Like, what's up, y'all? Hey, y'all mind if I stretch with y'all?
That motherfucker gonna be breaking mad rules out here.
I'll be breaking all the rules. Shit. I'm not cutting my hair. Y'all can talk about, y'all can get out of here with that. I'm not cutting my hair for y'all. For what?
Like, I can't do what? What? What you mean?
You can't have sex? Oh, it be y'all niggas coming all through that mug. I'll be like, hey, look, hey, is this what y'all missing?
So damn stupid.
You know, shoot, how we gonna not have sex? Like that's what you got a penis for. What you mean? We just not gonna act. We just gonna act like you just gonna sit there and act like you don't wanna. Yeah, you not horny, son. You just gonna act like that every day.
Oh,
And then you force yourself to not be horny, son. What?
I can't do that. Cause it's natural. How do you try to keep something from being natural?
Contained. Like, I wonder, do they like that hard? Do they do that?
Man, they got to. I'll be in that thing whacking, yo.
Man,
yo, somebody
night.
I be wondering like the nuns and stuff.
I be wondering about nuns too, cause I'm like, it's some bad looking nuns out here, and you know that they gotta like dudes. Like, it's a lot of nuns. But like maybe they like girls. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what happens if you're a nun and you like chicks, but you around chicks all day, every day? Oh.
They can't still have sex.
I know they be up in there. Every Christian I know is a sinner. That's why they Christians. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every Christian I know is a sinner. So, I'm not trying to hear that. I know they be getting in there.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Shit. You know they be up in there on Pornhub.
I'm not.
Man, we gotta make some more money past it. There ain't enough revenue coming in. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, yo.
But nah, what's up? What else is new, man? What's good? I had a question, man. I had a question for y'all. All right. Validation, bro.
Okay.
Validation. How important is it for someone to be verified, validated by something? Like, when it comes to trying to figure out, when you're looking at life and you're just trying to find different people and different teachers and different ways to learn about, you know, what's going on in life and stuff, right? When you talk to someone that you never met, you don't really know their background like that, but they start running game to you. How important is it that they're valid? You know what I'm saying? That they can be validated by someone else's opinion or the world's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like they have accolades and credentials that state that since I have done this, I can talk about this. You know what I'm saying? How important is that?
You want me to answer that?
Anybody.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn what your credentials is. I'm gonna listen to you. Mm-hmm. Do my own damn research to make sure what you saying it be correct. You know. I feel like in life your biggest teachers are gonna be people that you don't know, and they may not have half the damn accolades you think they have. You know what I'm saying? You can learn something from a homeless man on the street that ain't got shit. Yeah. So it's like you come across these people for a reason. Your life is a journey. Everybody you come across is already in the plan. So anytime somebody tells me something, I do listen to what they say. But the things that they say, I make sure, okay, he does have some validity to what he's saying, but I take that shit into context. You feel what I'm saying?
What about you, Shardae?
I agree with what Commander say, but at the same time, you may have the accolades, the validity, or you may have done it already, but what you have done may not work for me. Mm-hmm. So the steps you took may not work for me. I may not even have to go through the same steps you took. It may just fall in my lap. You may have had to go through all the sweat and tears, but I could just go out here and maybe do it or get it done easier. So I feel like it does help. I don't like people to just talk either. Like, let me see what you done really done. Like, I'm gonna do, like you said, I'm gonna do some research. But don't just talk and you ain't got nothing behind you that doesn't really happen.
So do y'all think that y'all more prone to learn life through experience or through research?
I think it's both.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
You gonna say it's a bit of balance, a balance between both.
A balance.
The reason I'm asking this is because I want to know, like, the significance of actually going to go see a psychiatrist and stuff like that. And why do people actually go see psychiatrists? You know what I'm saying? If where you need to talk about mental issues and things that's going on in your life and stuff. Why? What is the difference between sitting with someone who's actually gone through it or finding someone who's actually gone through it versus paying someone who has never gone through it, a professional in books and validated behind accolades, but who has never dealt with the mental stress and issues and circumstances that you're going through?
I would say, has anybody else been through therapy? Anyone else?
I've been to therapy maybe twice in my life, but once I was a child and I was maybe 17 the second time I went.
Okay. So I've been as an adult. So I'm usually the person that everybody comes to talk about issues or, things they're going through. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to be straight up, whatever. So I feel like you pay a professional because a lot of people have their own shit going on. Right. Most times people that's in our circle have life going on. And they probably, for the most part, a lot of people got the same shit, whether it's childhood trauma, stuff like that. Yeah. So we all got the same kind of energy when it comes to that. So you don't have a neutral response. Everybody's coming, they got their own personal feelings. And I feel like with therapy or a professional, more so than not, they're going to give you ways to talk it out and think about something different versus somebody that you may know and have gone through that experience.
Mm-hmm. So, my thing is this, though. If the person that you're talking to knows more about your psychological, the psychic mind frame than you, right? Mm-hmm. What's stopping them from running you in circles to keep you coming back? So that you keep spending money. Like where does your time with that person stop?
Actually, that's good that you asked that because my therapist actually told me she wasn't somebody that, keep coming, she was actually like, I think you're actually fine. Like I think we can scale back our meeting. If you want to scale back and just call me when you need me, that could be once a month, once every 2 months. But she's like, I think we've gone through all the motions and how to deal with if something comes up,
I think that's when ethics comes into play.
Right. And I will say, I don't know if everybody does that, but I had an African American woman as a therapist. And and some people, I have heard some people say, like, they didn't want, they were African American, but they didn't want African American therapists because they felt like they would project, they probably had some of the same shit as a therapist and project that on them. Which she said she had a pink therapist, and the therapist, basically told her, like, it's time you quit your job. Like, your job is causing you stress. Like, those are triggers and you need to quit. But for me, like I said, my therapist is just like, I think we talked about it. You know exactly what you need to do. Cut these people off and do this. But I feel like we've gone through the motions that I feel like you can handle it. But there probably are some people or therapists that probably would keep, oh, you should work on this. You should work on this week. And So
like
time is up. It's time for another, $20,000 for another session and shit. Yeah.
exactly.
and I'm gonna go there. Like, so okay, we talking about that. So like, if you care like that, or if you know what I'm saying, you that kind of person where you just really trying to help someone, why make people pay for it?
I mean,
Like, why not just do it for free?
But I feel like
Because it
sometimes
has
it
to be
is
a
free. Because
balance
at first,
between business and the love.
yeah, I mean, I got it. That's if that's my passion. That's just like you. Eventually, your passion is music and creativity. Eventually, you want to get paid for your shit.
Because you're trying to
Like
do it
you,
full time.
yeah, like that's your business, and this is how I eat. Like I got eventually. That don't take away my passion for what I'm doing. Like I really still want to help people. I want to get my music out, my painting, whatever your art is. I still gotta live.
Some people would say know your worth in that regard.
I feel you. I don't know. Sometimes I just have my, when it comes to like doctors and therapists and dentists and stuff like that, I always look at them as like drug dealers. You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
it's a
Like
side eye, it's a third eye.
they selling you something because they know, you know what I'm saying, they basically solving a problem for you. That's what your drug dealer does. He solves your problems. You know what I'm saying? Any stresses and issues that you got, any concerns that you got can go away with just this one sale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I kind of look at it like that, like they pushing products. You know, okay, you need to do this, you need to think about this, you need to go buy this, you need to go buy that.
But that's
And
something.
you know, I guess you gotta just be a little discerning and like you said, just the ethics about it. So
And you gotta know yourself too. Like you gotta just like doctors, the pharmacy. Like you all know that's a game. Like I might give you a medicine that's gonna cover up this. Now you need to come back for this. Like at some point you gotta take accountability and say, yo, I know what I need to do to get off this diabetes medicine. Like I need to be drinking my green smoothie. Unless like to reverse all of this, unless you just want to keep paying people, like, because that is their job.
Yeah.
Like, you can't let them advocate for you because they will. No, you need this. No, I don't. I don't need this. Like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you, yeah, you can give me that medicine. That don't mean I'm going to take it and I'm going to come back and let you know, like, yo, I did it this way.
yeah.
So,
I'm not trying to bust them down. I just, just for clarity, trying to see, how people feel about us being validated. Because sometimes often you talk about something and you feel like you have an understanding about it, but you feel like people not really paying you no attention because you can't be backed by any type of certificates or, you know what I'm saying, anything saying that, hey, I know what I'm talking about,
That's a societal based thing, though.
Right, but people gotta know who the real is and who the people that get paid for it. Like, just because you getting paid for it, you got the education behind it, don't necessarily mean you know more than me because I don't got the education or the letters behind my name that you got.
Right. I mean, think about back in the past episode we had with Prince and Comedic Science Institute. He said that about doctors. He said what they do, they get paid to practice on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Practicing on you. So it's like they're in this learning just like you are. They're only going off the knowledge they learn on the books to do what they gotta do.
Yeah, that's some fucking shit. Oh man, somebody gonna have to go to some knee surgery tomorrow. Like, man, what? Fuck. That's right. I didn't think about that. This is just practice for these dudes.
Operation game.
Yeah.
They don't even really know what my knee is.
But that shit real, man. Like I take everybody equally. You over here can have 10,000 damn degrees, and you over here can have none, but you can have more knowledge than this person because you lived it. But this person only read it. So I'm gonna take both of y'all experiences, put them together, and do what I gotta do with both sides. That's how
I think ultimately it just comes down to like you doing your own due diligence. Even when it comes to like hiring a psychologist, like you have to get to a point where you understand, like, damn, I can't do this by myself. I need a psychiatrist. That's gonna take the initial steps of you thinking about what could possibly be going on if there's something wrong with you. Some people don't even be paying attention. They be like, "I ain't nothing wrong with me, you know. I'm that shit. I'm that bit. You know. It ain't nothing, you know. Or I'm that dude, you know." So a lot of us suffer through this post-traumatic stress, but we don't really understand like what's going on. Like even in relationships, we just go through life and we just think everything's okay, but we never stop to think like, man.
And honestly, a lot of African American people really do got a lot of like PTSD. We really don't like. We really don't think because like even when I started therapy, my grandma was like, "What's wrong with you? You ain't crazy." Honestly, a lot of younger people or our age generation need therapy to deal with they shit from back in the day because they think they so strong and they just literally bottled that shit back up from 1940s and they just hard like to the core.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know I ain't fucking crazy.
People don't understand like trauma and things that have been done to people, that does get passed down through genetics.
It does.
People don't understand like how important trauma really is. Like what your ancestors went through, you're gonna feel that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever watched curses and things like that? That shit gets passed down.
It really does. And I literally, like, when I started, I had to think about stuff from, like, my grandmother and, like, how my aunt or my mom, like, how they think about stuff. And I'm like, that's because my grandmother. And I really went back to my grandmother, and she was the oldest, but she raised, like, 10 brothers and sisters. So she was just hard. Like, she was born in Alabama, so it just, she went through all of that. It's an actual, I don't know if y'all ever watched it on Netflix. It's called In My Mother's Garden. I don't know if y'all ever watched it.
I didn't see that. I didn't watch the whole thing though.
Yeah, y'all gotta watch that. Like, it really breaks it down. Like, it's so deep, and it's really like, that ancestry is real.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Because another thing is, I be trying to figure out like why the white people walk around with the guns on their hip and stuff like that, but we the ones with the PTSD.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We the ones that need. Black people should just be strapped up, dog. At this point, like as soon as you see a cop, it should be on like.
Right. I swear I tend to like like my heart is like I know I ain't doing nothing wrong, but I got blood in my car and you just never know. Like,
yo, I'm gonna tell you like this, every time I see a cop, I start feeling some type of way. Yeah, I don't care where I'm at, I don't care what I'm doing. As soon as I see a 5, I'm like, man, you know. Like, like let me not even look that way because I don't even want to navigate this attention.
That's a form of PTSD in itself.
Yo, it is.
It's crazy. It is so, man.
It is crazy how that shit works. But you know, you see white people, they be over here chopping it up with the cop, like, oh, what's up, officer? How you doing? You know, I'm over here. I'm stopping behind the car and slowing up till the lights turn green.
Exactly. Like, I don't even want to go back.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even want to see your face, dog. Like, if there's a crime going on, I'd rather the crime just happen and be done than y'all come over and just, you know.
Yeah.
Because,
did y'all, go ahead.
Nah, you said they what?
No, Terrell Owen, he just, that's an old football player, right?
Yeah.
T.O.? Okay, I just had to make sure I knew what I was talking about. But I had to make sure, okay? But he just put up a video last night. So he was going through his neighborhood. I guess he said he was going to the mailbox. And so a Karen outside. And she, I guess she like yelled, slow down, or got in the middle of his car. So he stopped his car and got out. She called the police. The husband told her to go back in. She called the police. The police come. She starts crying. And he like, oh, you really gonna do that? Like, I didn't even do that. She was like, you're a black man and you're coming towards me. I was like you didn't say, I'm gonna try to find a video and forward it. I was like, oh my God, thank God, like, it was another neighbor that was on T.O. side and was like, first of all, he was not speeding and he did not come towards you. Like, yeah, he got out of your car because you yelling at him. but literally in the video, you can hear her say, "You're a black man. You're coming towards me," like, and start hysterically crying.
Are you serious?
I was like, "This is how our black people fucking get killed." But they had the
That
cops in
is
the
so
asshole.
gross. That is disgusting, bro.
It is.
Like, I was just like,
It's a
How do
fucking
they really don't know what they do and how easy it is for us to literally could be gone in the blink of an eye.
They
So
do
did
know.
you-
That's why they do that shit.
Did you hear about the term Karen now? How they trying to equate that to the N word, and they saying
It's racist.
they saying that
Racist
it's
now.
worse than the N word now. I was like, yo, you fucking
I mean, I would believe it.
It's worse than the N word, bro.
Oh, they was like, we pretty much they were saying we know slavery was bad and all that, but this Karen stuff, this is a whole nother level. Like, motherfucker, please.
Bitch, you ain't going against your will. You fucking bitch. Y'all done got me crazy. Y'all usually don't even curse on here.
It's wild, son. Like, that is crazy, dog.
Yes, man.
And like, I feel like, why do white people, but I guess white people just be scared, or those kind of people, they just be scared. Like,
no, they think because all the shit they did is gonna come back and haunt them.
Yeah.
That's critical race theory, though. That's what critical race theory is all about. Don't give them the knowledge because that has to hold us accountable.
Yeah.
That's why the fight for critical race theory is so important. And I'm always wondering why we're not trying to push for that fight for more of it. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much what we always talk about, but why is non-melanated people fighting for more critical race theory? It's like a white-on-white fight. But it has everything to do with us because it holds everybody accountable.
They don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
I don't even think, sometimes I just don't think, I just think that black people be in La La Land, bro.
I feel that way, man.
I feel sad.
Not all. I think it's more people that
Not
all. Man, I feel like sometimes they on this beach behind me and shit, and just looking at waves and shit, when a whole bunch of other shit is going on.
It's like, I think us as black people, like, we just get to a point, we get money, and we just like, okay, I can do this. So I'm not even tripping. Like, this been going on for years. It's not going to stop now. You know?
But some people feel like, what can they really do at that time? Because you got this group over here who ready. They'll be ready. But then you got millions over there like, fuck that. Like,
yo, they be looking like, yeah, I'm not getting into that. I got a bid.
Right.
Well, sometimes you gotta say fuck it and let them do them.
Son, I don't know, son. I think the only way for this shit to ever get better is for a purge to happen.
You think so?
That's just where we at. Like, we need a flood. We would need a flood. Like, we would have to kill off all these racist ass motherfuckers. Then we have to kill off all of these damn. We have to kill off all these niggas that's just like illogical and irrelevant to the life and don't want to do better.
So you saying we need to have
Reteach.
a Nat Turner mentality? That's what you saying?
Reteach the world how to view black people. It's just a lot of shit that has to go down, and the only way for that to happen is if we completely destroy everything we already have.
So you destroying the melanated people that want to be white too? Cause
no, it's not even just that. It's the melanated people who teaching white concepts. Like, we're not just talking about like money. We talking about religion. You know what I'm saying? Because we got religion out here that's teaching you how to be a slave. Like, you calling your God a master and shit. Like, I get that. But, you know, you worshiping, falling on your knees before the cross, and you praying before a white Jesus, a man who's said to be a child of God, your master. It's just like, all of this shit is geared towards influencing us that we're always going to be slaves. Like, regardless of if we die or if we live. Like, once you die, you go to heaven just to be a slave for God. Like, you know, I hate to say it like that. But then you go to school and you learn how to be a fucking employee. And you go to college and you learn how to be an employee. And you go to work and you learn how to just slave for the rest of your life. And you don't learn about the world. You just learn about what's necessary for you to keep putting money in people's pockets.
Yeah.
So
unless you got your own mind.
Yeah.
So like when you see people that is making bread and they got enough money to just do whatever they want when they want to, which is probably the rapper, the boxer, the basketball player, the football players, because you ain't seeing the doctors and all those other people like that all the time. You like, damn, this is what I gotta do to be free. So we just fall right back in the trap and we forget everything that's going on CNN. We don't care about that. We just try and get the bag so that we just can stay elevated. You know, we not gonna take who got time to just sit there and be reading books about Black history and like logic and reasoning and the art of war and philosophy, therapy, psychology, psychology, medicine. Nobody wants to sit and read that shit. Let's go rap. Let's go play ball, dog. You know?
I feel like
let's play PlayStation for money.
Like Big Crit and Blueface Fiasco, man. It's a lost generation, man.
It is.
It's lost.
I could go further and say it's a lost people.
Yeah.
I don't want to give up on my people, but it's like, yo.
It's a rap.
It's like, damn, son. As soon as they start giving out shots, y'all know they gave us syphilis and all that shit, right?
And AIDS.
Through the same means, right? Y'all do know that. Do the shot. Y'all about to just go, oh, we scared. We gonna get that. You better get that. They got people in churches. Oh, God, please, on the cross, you better give it to them. Give it to them. You get the shot. Get the shot.
Oh, you make my stomach hurt. No, and you know a lot of the churches only did that because they get a lot of the funding from the government. So it was like, if you don't do this, I'm going to take away your funding. That's actually why I left one of my churches. I felt like it became too commercialized because they were getting a lot of funding from like higher up Blue Cross Blue Shield. So it's just like the message became water to me. It wasn't like when I first moved to Charlotte where I was like, okay, it took me about 2 years to join, but it was the word, like I felt it. And then eventually as time went on, it was just receiving funding and more funding from, you know, high up. So it seemed like the message got real watered down or commercialized. Like they wouldn't talk about certain things or touch on certain things. And it was like, all right, yeah, I don't want that. Because you still got churches that touch on real stuff.
Yo, imagine going to church, right, with just people like us, like the pastors are us, right? And we just sit there, not on the podium.
We gonna be a pastor?
just check it out. Check it out. We sitting there, you know, pastors, they like us, but they ain't cursing and all that. They like us. They sitting in the middle of the floor with the people. They not on the podium and all that. They sitting in the audience talking to the people like, listen, y'all got some issues. We here to listen. What's going on? I ain't gonna preach nothing about no Bible. We about to just talk real talk right now. You know what I'm saying? We about to talk about life. We about to talk about politics. We about to talk about financial gains. We about to talk about savings plans. If a church was like a school for life, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that the only thing you learn when you go to church? You know what I'm saying? That's what a pastor's supposed to do. Like, are we gonna preach Jesus saving our souls and shit, but we not about to teach them about financial literacy and shit. These niggas broke as fuck, but they still giving 10% to the church, but when they go home, they don't even got no money to eat no food. Like, what's really happening here?
Yeah.
We giving them food, but we not teaching them how to get food? What the fuck?
I agree.
So I'm like, when I think of a church, that's what I think of. I think of like the youthful, energetic dude, regular t-shirt, hat, talking to people, asking questions. Like, if you the only person talking in the room, you ain't listening. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And that's why I like this pastor in Houston. Like, absolutely love him. Keon Henderson, he actually just got married to Shawnee, Shaq's ex-wife.
Oh, really?
But he got a real word and he for the people. Like anytime I come to Houston, I visit there. Like
Real.
he's good and he younger. He like I think he on like 40 something. But yeah, he just really doing a lot for the community, all that type of stuff. And I feel like that's what the pastor should be. And you should be able to touch on real shit.
Yeah, I agree. Hey. Well, this was a great episode, as always, you know. Shardae's back. Yeah.
I'm a dip in. I'm I ain't thinking about my people. I'm here.
Man, it's all good. Well, this was a great episode. That being said, this is your boy Comedic Energy.
It's Shardae.
And something happened to Craig, but we still love him. Peace out.
We out.
Have a nice night.
Livewire Sound and Entertainment. If you're looking to rent premium sound equipment for your next concert or podcast at a low price, go to www.livewiresoundent.com.
Studio Radio.